evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carrie Howard, and I will be your announcer for this evening's performance. Tonight marks the first performance of the newly renamed Concert Winds since March of 2020, when we had the real honor of performing alongside the UNR Wind Ensemble under the direction of Dr. Reed Chamberlain. We are delighted to be back and even more pleased by the interest, dedication, and joy of this year's band members. We have diverse musical selections to share with you this evening and at each of our 4 concerts in this and next semester. The composers work to represent the inspiration for their pieces in music. Our job is to help you feel the beauty, the grandeur, the wonder, and fierceness that they put into their compositions. We will begin this evening's music with my apologies. We will begin this evening's music with a composition by Andrew Boyson Jr. Dr. Boyson is the director of bands at the University of New Hampshire, which happens to be where our esteemed director, Martha, completed her undergraduate studies in music education. That's right. The title of this piece refers to the idea that alchemy involves the attempt to combine and transform base metals into gold. In other words, in this piece, Dr. Boyson tried to take 2 individual sections and combine them and combine them and to create a more perfect statement while also transforming them from a dark minor color to a bright major one. Dr. Boyson also reinforced this concept by using only metallic instruments in the percussion section, other than timpani, including 2 suspended cymbals, a tam-tam, a china cymbal, triangle, finger cymbals, metal music stand, brake drum, ice bells, sleigh bells, snare drum, rim only, vibraphone, orchestra bells, and chimes. Personally, I did not know there are that many instruments in percussion, and the ladies and gentlemen in our percussion section are going to be very, very busy tonight. Alchemy was commissioned by the Indiana Bandmasters Association for the 2008 All-District Honor Bands. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the director of the TMCC Concert Winds, Martha Damon O'Neill. The next section, Where the Waters Meet, was arranged for band by Carol Britton Chambers. This composition is based on the British Isles folk tune, Oh Wally Wally. Miss Chambers wrote this piece in honor of Lee Smith, a former Texas music educator. Lee loved nature, and he enjoyed spending time in the mountains at his lake home on Lake Fork. Lee also loved teaching children. He felt that humans need two things above all else: to love and to be loved. That was the basis for his teaching. If students did not know you loved them, you would not reach them. As Miss Chambers set out to write this special piece, she decided to use the imagery of water to portray that particular sentiment. One set of waters, a river, meets or flows into a larger body, a lake. The river is the teacher, and the lake is the body of students. Where the waters meet symbolizes the moment or moments when the teacher shows love, gives knowledge, and thereby reaches the students. Please enjoy. The third selection this evening is K2, The Savage Mountain, composed by Julie Garreau. K2 sits on the border between Pakistan and China. It is the second highest peak in the world, with a peak elevation of 8,611 meters. That's 28,251 feet, and carries with it the second highest fatality rate of 27%. For every 4 people who attempt its climb, 1 will die. Because of its remote location, the mountain had no local name and continues to be known today by its surveyor's mark. K2 is so severe a peak, many feel the name is appropriate. The Italian climber Fosco Mariani agrees and has been quoted describing it as just the bare bones of a name, all rock and ice and storm and abyss. It makes no attempt to sound human. It is atoms and stars. It has the nakedness of the world before the first man, or of the cindered planet after the last. There are 2 great challenges of ascending K2. The first is oxygen deprivation due to the extreme high altitude. There is only 1/3 as much oxygen as there is at sea level. Above 8,000 meters is the boundary known as the death zone, which includes the top 611 meters of K2. Bottled oxygen is used by many climbers to help alleviate some of the altitude's effects. Altitude-related complications have greatly contributed to K2's death toll. The second greatest challenge is the climate. Due to the severity of its terrain, K2 gives little to no shelter from its many storms, which can blow up with little to no warning. Many of the deaths while climbing K2 are weather-related. This mountain has never been climbed in the winter. K2 is massive, beautiful, and literally can take your breath away. It calls to mountain climbers around the world with the song of a deadly siren. Most heed its warning, but a few will not be thwarted. 73% will make it to the very top and will come down changed forever. I give you K2. Our next selection this evening is Amerland, composed by Jacob de Haan. Amerland depicts the lush, enchanting region surrounding the Dreiechenaer Lake in Amerland, Lower Saxony, Germany. The rural land of Amerland boasts seemingly endless country roads and an exquisite lakeside. The sonorous sounds of Amerland create the feeling of being carried away to this unique landscape of fields littered with sprawling meadows covered with yellow wildflower blossoms. We will be joined on this piece by our Assistant Director, Rochelle Cowell. Ms. Cowell is the Director of Bands at Reno High School. She earned her Bachelor of Music in Trumpet Performance and a Master of Music degree in Music Education, both from the University of Nevada, Reno. As a performer, she has performed with Honor Bands of America, Reno Wind Symphony, Reno Pops Orchestra, TMCC Band, miscellaneous community show bands, Toccata, which is Tahoe Orchestra and Chorus, and the Reno Philharmonic. In her second year of teaching, Rochelle received the New Music Educator of the Year Award from the Nevada Music Educators Association. On a fun side note, Rochelle was a band student of Martha's at Sparks Middle School. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Ms. Rochelle Cowell. Before we play our final selection, I would like to encourage you to attend our next band performance, which will be Tuesday, December 6th at 7:30 p.m. at North Valleys High School in the theater. Our final selection this evening is Haven Dance, composed by David R. Halsinger. David Halsinger's first child, his daughter Haven, was the inspiration for this 1985 composition. Its driving rhythms represent the energy of an 8-year-old who was constantly dancing and twirling around the house, dreaming of being a ballerina. The composition undergoes several variations in style, but it's always filled with energy. Some passages evoke the image of a single dancer, while with solo pirouettes and leaps. These light efforts grow to draw in the full dance company with an unrelenting, underlying rhythm. Haven Dance is the first of 3 dance songs honoring the composer's children. Mr. Holsinger also composed Niles Dance and Grayson Dance to reflect the diverse personalities of his 2 sons. But tonight, we give you Haven Dance.